What's up guys, Chris back from CCJ the Stanley, bringing you guys another deck profile video. And today we get to go over the, where's my leader at? Oh yeah, cool, yeah, Boujack. A lot of people have requested this video since the last deck profile that we made of Boujack like forever ago. And I think with all the new expansion cards that came out of the anniversary box, this leader gets much better. I don't know how good yet. The testing that I've done has been very minimum, and I don't know, I haven't really tested a lot of variety yet, so I'm interested to see how this deck tests in the future. This may be something we play at one of our locals. Who knows, maybe if it gets a little more support, maybe we take this to a big tournament whenever things kind of come back up. Who knows? But make sure you guys like and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think down below. Hit that bell for all the notifications, and we'll get right here into the deck profile. So Boujack has arguably been one of the worst leaders ever printed, because he does absolutely nothing when he awakens, which is terrible. He awakens at 4 life and does nothing. So this has always been a problem for the leader. No restanding, no drawing, and the deck just kind of falls apart. And truthfully, you don't really want to be on your awakened side, because on this side, when you play a battle card, you draw a card and you gain 5k. So you become a 15k for the rest of that turn. That's on your turn or your opponent's turn. Then he has this really long auto effect where basically if you combo with 2 pirates on your turn, you can KO one of your opponent's cards in rest mode. It's pretty cool. It can work, especially if they have something on board that you don't want to deal with next turn. Really easy to just combo 2 of the little guys off, KO it. And unfortunately, you don't draw when you attack, but you do draw when you play your first Boujack card, so it's kind of the same idea. On this side, same thing. When you play a battle card now, you don't gain the 5k, you just draw, and then the same really long auto attack. But you also have a permanent that's pretty, I guess, unique, where you can combo with Boujack Brigade cards in rest mode. So, good thing to keep in mind. So this deck would not be, runnable without all of the little pirates. So, we have the 1-drop Boujack. He is one of the cards you want to hard mulligan for. Basically, when you play him, you get to play a 2-drop from your hand. Now, you'll see all of these pirates have basically this permanent that says you can only play one of them in your battle area. Basically, they all have unique before unique was a thing. So, he has unique, and you play a 2-drop from your hand. When you play him, obviously, your leader ability, you gain 5k and draw 1. And then you can combo with him from your battle area, and you get to tap an opponent's battle card. So it's almost like a pseudo Zamasu super combo. You can just tap battle cards. So we have him, which then he will allow us to play out her from our hand. Same thing, she has unique. When she comes into play, you get to search your deck and play a 1-drop. Now, the idea is to have one of these 2 in your first hand. If you hard mulligan for this and you don't get it, but you get this, it's still okay. We're going to charge a multicolor turn 1 anyways, so you're not going to be playing anything for turn 1. But this will allow you to play this out, and then you can play this out, and then play another 2-drop out from your hand, or vice versa. When you combo with her, or actually when you place her in the drop area, you get to choose one of your Boujack cards in your battle area and give it crit for the duration of the turn. Very effective. To the new anniversary cards, the Violent Rush Zanga. She's another target for your Boujack, and when you combo with her from the battle area, this card gains an extra 5k for the battle, so she becomes a 10k combo. And at the end of the battle, when this card is used from a combo from your battle area, it's returned to your hand. So this card just gets bounced back to your hand, just free value. Only run 2, because deck space and because both of these are gold foiled. Just kind of makes sense, obviously. Rule 1, only run gold foil cards. Next base pirate is Beto. We are on 3 Beto. He is the searcher of the deck. So when he comes into play, you search top 5 for a Boujack Brigade card. So any of your Boujack cards. And then you can sack him from the battle area, and then you can choose 5 Boujack cards in your drop, 2 or less, and shuffle them back into your deck. So kind of how the play goes. Turn 1, or your turn 1 when you're playing something, you play this, draw a card, which then you can play this from your hand, and then this will play this from the deck. So you get 3 of these on board. Obviously, none of them are worth swinging with because they're all 3Ks. but it gives you bodies on board so you can use your leader ability to kill something. Or if you start filling up your drop, you can sack this to put this in the drop, choose it, and choose 4 other cards and put them in your deck. You could sack this, give a Boujack crit, and then you can sack this in a combo to tap something. Like I said, also he will also play out this just in case you don't have the other Zanga, you just need something on board. So those are all of the small pirates. And then for good measure, we run 2 Arrival of the Space Pirates. This is a 1-drop searcher. Search your deck for a 2 or less, play it in rest mode. So again, if you have this in your hand and you don't have any of your other pirates, you can tap 1, search this out, and then you can play this out from your deck, or you can play this out from your deck. And then you still get the same effect. So we run 2 of those just because hypothetically, if you don't see your pirates, you at least have 1 option for pirates. So we have to run multicolor in this deck. It's one of the big functions of the deck. So for Beerus check lands, for consistency purposes, and for Zamasu super combos. Best super combo in the game. Fortunately, it doesn't tap down Unisons, but it's okay. It's still super good card. So we run 4 of these. We do run Arrival targets. We run 2 of the Boujacks. The old Arrival Boujack, which comes in play and taps an opponent's battle card and then makes a mill card. He's also a 20k blocker. And when this card comes into play, if you haven't played a Boujack card on this turn, you get to draw a card, because that's what your leader effect says. So you gotta have him. And then we have 3 of the new guy, Violent Rush. He is a 7-drop, which is crazy. 7-drop barrier Arrival, and he has Aegis. If you guys don't know what Aegis does, basically on your combo phase, you get to choose 1 blue yellow card in your hand, or 1 blue and yellow card. So you can choose a multicolor, pitch it, and then the Aegis effect is you get to restand 2 energy. On him, when he says whenever you activate Aegis, you draw a card. So you get to pitch a card, restand 2, draw a card. So you get to kind of cycle through your deck, get some energy up for maybe some other plays. Really good effect. He's unique, so you can only have 1 of them on the field, but he also has barrier, and he's a really good card. He helps the deck tremendously with being able to draw, especially on your opponent's side. Either by playing him on your opponent's turn, drawing a card, and then using his Aegis effect to draw another one and restand energy. It just makes it so you're constantly keeping your energy up, able to combo, able to negate, do other things. So very good card. Also, he's a 20k swing with barrier. So there's a lot, like, your opponent's gonna have to swing at him to kill him, and when they swing, you can just activate Aegis and then, you know, try to do your best to defend him. And then we run 1 Son Goku Vegeta Saiyan Bonds. I really like this card. I don't know why, but I do think it's a good card. I think the effect of being able to choose one of your opponent's battle cards and then negate skills for the turn is pretty good against secret rares. This is kind of like your secret rare stopper. Obviously, you have Frost, Deadly Poison possibilities with being blue-yellow, but this also gives you a body on board and draws a card and choose that battle card and, you know, remove all its skills for the turn. So it's I think it's still really effective. Also, it just gives you another blue-yellow card that if you possibly need to pitch it for Aegis, you have it. The Gates-wise, we run 2 Nimbus and 2 Time Magic. Those are the only battle card negates that that's only extra card negates that we run in the deck. 2 Sparking, and then 2 Flying Nimbus for board control. 3 of the Vegeta Unisons. I've tried with Gogeta. Doesn't feel as good. Maki Cabra is too much energy. Turn 4, we're not wanting to spend 4 energy on Maki Cabra. This is kind of the best one. I like this effect because I can gain a marker and tap one of my cards. And if you remember, his effect says I can combo with cards in rest mode. So if I have one of these, I can just tap it, get a marker for Vegeta, and then I can still combo with it later on. So I'm not losing any value. He also stops my opponent from attacking me with his -1, and then his plus his -3, I can kind of go for game a little bit by tapping one of their energy, giving him 5k, double strike, and dual attack. So it becomes a 20k double strike dual attack, which helps with some other cards we have in the deck. So we run 3 of this. It's not a necessity, but it's just kind of there just in case. It's also a free charge if the game's going in a way where I don't need to play a Unison. But since we are playing Unison, we play the Vegeta counterplay. Probably one of the best reasons to play the Unison. You keep him on board with more than 2 markers. This becomes a free play. This card comes down and taps the opponent's card that's being played. Obviously, if it has deflect, doesn't hit it, but anything else in the game will get tapped down. And he's a 14k blocker, so he gives you some sort of defense as well. Some draft box stuff. Run 2 of the counterplay Angel. Comes in for 3 and negates any of your opponent's battle card skills 5 or less, or the card that's being played is just 5 or less. It negates its skills. So it's basically a Frost Deadly Poison battle card. And then this card also has Aegis, where you can, when you activate Aegis, you restand 2 and then you draw 2. So this is a better version of the Boujack, but this also has a negate purpose to it as well. So you have some more unique playing with this. The board removing Angel, probably the best Angel rare I think in the game, except for the Liqueur one. Tap 1 blue, 1 yellow. You get the bottom deck one of your opponent's battle cards, and at the start of your opponent's main phase, you get to restand 2 energy. So any energy that you use with this effect, since it is an activate main, you activate this as many times as you want. You activate this 3 times in 1 turn, you restand 6 energy. Really good card. I think 2 is perfect. Just kind of there also for blue yellow Aegis effects. But if my opponent's trying to go wide and I have a lot of energy, I can just play this and then just bottom deck, and then restand on my energy. This card I'm thinking about cutting completely. It's Champa. I may keep it down to 1, but I feel like I have so much tapping potential. I don't really need this, but then when I think about it, I'm like, okay, this is the only card that gets through deflect and barrier. So it still has a purpose in the deck. I just don't know if I want to run it as a 3 of, maybe a 2 of, maybe maybe even as a 1 of. I think the card's still good, just not a big fan of it at the moment with this deck. 2 FDPs. Hits everything in the game without deflect. Puts in rest mode with all of its skills negated. The 4 comes into play. Draw 1, and then if you're at 3 or less life, get the restand in energy. So it becomes a 2-drop, draw 1, making any card a vanilla. For the Boujack negates, this card is a 1-drop negate if you have a blue-yellow energy, which obviously we do. And when you play it, your opponent has to mill the top card of their deck. Also, because it is a pirate card, when you play this on your opponent's turn, if you're unawakened, you gain 5k and draw. If you're on your awakened side, you just draw. This is one of our endgame targets here. Also with the new Boujack. And this one here is a lifesaver for the deck. This is probably the best card in the deck. 2 different activate mains. First one, if you have 2 or more pirates in play, you can play this card from your hand. You can't play copies of this card for the turn. So it is a free play. This is good because let's say I have one of these on board already. I'll use this kind of as like to bait out maybe a counter play or something. But also when it hits the field, if you haven't played a pirate yet that turn, you get the draw. So he's just a free draw 1, 15k body that you can swing with. Or the main effect is his second activate main, which if you have 2 or more energy, you pitch this card from your hand, you draw 2, and you get to awaken. So you can awaken at 8 life, truthfully. Which is why it's really important to go first with this deck, since you do charge multicolor. And then turn 2, you just activate main, pitch this, draw 2. Now you want to the main effect of your turn, your awakened turn. You want to utilize this side's draw effect. What I mean by that is, since your leader draws whenever you play a pirate, and you don't do that on the other side, you do that on the other side as well. Let's say you have 2 energy, okay? Hypothetically, trying to grab some cards here. So let's say we have these 2 in our hand, okay? So we're on our awakened side. We have the Boujack in our hand. So what you do is you play out Boujack, draw the card, gain 5k, and then do his stuff, or whatever, even if you don't have anything to do. Then you pitch this, draw 2. So now we awaken. And if you have an extra energy open, play this, and then draw again. So you get to draw 4 cards. It's really strong. You don't have to do it that way, but just a cool little, you know, just drawing tip, just to be able to get as many cards as you possibly can in your hand. But yeah, this is definitely the MVP of the deck, because this allows you to go into your boss monster very easily, and also it just allows you to awaken, which is, I think, what's the only problem really with the deck. Then we awaken our boss monster, we go into Boujack the Plunderer. For 4 energy, you evolve on top of a 3-drop Boujack, which obviously he's a 3-drop, as well as the Negate is also a 3-drop, so you can evolve on top of either one of these. So you have 8 targets in the deck. This is a 1-drop that negates, and then this is a free play. So you have 2 really, really cheap targets that you can evolve on top of. But when you evolve into this guy, if you have 5 or more energy, when you play this card, if you have 5 more energy, you choose all of your opponent's cards and switch them to rest mode. So Unisons, energy, leader, battle cards, field cards, everything that doesn't have barrier gets put in rest mode. And then auto, whenever your opponent switches one of their cards, keyword cards, in rest mode to active mode, if your leader is a Boujack, your opponent chooses 1 card in their hand and sends it to the warp. So people get pretty mad about this, but during their charge phase, when they restand everything, they have to warp a card for every card that they restand. That's how the card reads. That's the ruling. So when you play this down, you tap all 4 of your opponent's energy. You tap their leader. Let's say they have a field card. That's 6 now. They have a battle card on the field. That's 7. They have a unison. That's 8. So when they restand everything, every card that they restand, they pitch a card. It's not an overall effect. It's just for every card they pitch. So every time they restand an energy, they have to pitch a card. It's insane. If you can stay above 5 life and play this card more than twice in a game, you're more likely going to win. They're probably just going to scoop after you play the second one. It's just insane. This alone can just end the game, because you're just going to rip your opponent's hand away. And then you can use this card's effect, active main, and the Zynga effect. So what this card's effect is, you choose a Boujack card in your battle area and pitch it. It gets dual attack. And then you can pitch a Zynga afterwards and give it crit. So it becomes a 25k dual attack crit. And if your opponent has no cards in hand, you can just swing twice with crit. Maybe swing at their unison with your leader and then just pass. And then now they warp their whole hand. And then they'll probably charge and pass. And then you get to do the same thing again next turn. So this makes it almost like you don't really need a secret rare. Now if we had a secret rare that would fit in this deck, I'd play it. The secret rare I think would work in this deck is Power Batora. That's the best one. That is your game finisher, but I don't own Power Batora. It's one of the only secret rares I don't own. So I just put hit in the deck. This can end up being smoke. This could be, I don't know, Gogeta, maybe, if I charged all blue yellow. I don't know. But since I don't have Power Batora, that's the card I think I'll put on the screen just to kind of cover hit here. But that's the only card I think that would work really in this deck as a finisher. You can add 6-drop Fu and things like that as well. This card's not bad. It comes out for 1 less for every blue or yellow battle card you have in the battle area. And when this card hits the board, your opponent's leader gets flipped. So he becomes unawakened, and he can't activate awakened skills until the end of his turn. And it's a triple strike, 30k. So it could be an interesting game ender. But it's just kind of here as a placeholder. So that's what I got for the new Boujack deck. I think this deck will become somewhat competitive. I'm going to play it locally, see how it plays. If it plays really, really well, I may play it at one of our tournaments. Who knows? But we shall see. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Hit the bell for all the notifications, and we'll see you guys in the next video.